if you had to build your media and film empire over again, knowing what you know now, how would you do it?
I would become a business owner sooner as opposed to being self-employed. Right.
All right.
So
what's the difference? Break that down for us.
Yeah. So self-employed is that you build a job for yourself. Your business don't run without you. My media company can somewhat run without me, but somewhat not really. Right. And that's something that I am actively working on as we speak, to be able to put a general manager in place, to be able to put salespeople in place, to have the editors, the filmmakers, things of that nature, to where it can run without me.
I'm trying to give me a bag. I'm trying to give me a bag. I'm trying to give me a bag. I'm trying to give me a bag.
What's up? You are now listening to FYI FLI, the podcast, and I'm your host, Hassan Thomas, along with Remy, and we are here to share tools on how millennials can budget, save, invest, and understand student debt and credit to achieve financial freedom. If you're a high school student, college student, or someone who's interested in gaining more financial insight, this podcast is for you.
I'm trying to give me a bag. I'm trying to give me a bag. I'm trying to give me a...
What's up, my FYI FLI folks out there? How y'all doing? I hope y'all doing all right. Welcome to the FYI FLI podcast. My name is Hassan Thomas, a.k.a. the kid that did and the man that can, baby. And today, we're going to be chopping it up with filmmaker, entrepreneur, and public speaker, Mr. Micah Autry. How are you, bro? How are you?
I'm doing great, brother. I appreciate you for having me on. I'm excited to jump into it, man. I'm excited. It's going to be fun.
Yes, sir. You already know. I'm glad you're ready to jump right into it, because that's what we do on FYI FLI. We like to skip the fluff and get right into the good stuff. That sound good?
Let's do it. Let's do it.
Bet. So, honestly, bro, I recall, you telling me when we spoke the first time that you began your journey in filmmaking and built your business around that. So, for you, what was that specific moment where you realized you could build that successful business out of filmmaking?
Yeah, man. So I'm gonna take it back to high school. I was a junior in high school. I'm the youngest of 3 kids. So my older brother was a rapper, right? This 2010, 2011.
That's crazy.
No disrespect. Love my brother, but you know what I'm saying? He was doing music, right? He was doing music at the time. And these DSLR cameras that just came out. And so him and his buddies, they went and bought a camera. And I'm just little bro trying to hang out with big bro and his friends. And they're like, okay, well, cool. You gonna hang out with us. You gonna hold this camera. And so I started enjoying.
Put you to work.
It's free labor. You know what I'm saying? So I started to enjoy playing with the cameras. And they quickly realized, before I even knew it, that, hey, Lil Jarrell is better with the camera than we are. So it was like, we're not going to do a video shoot unless City, my brother, is bringing his little brother with us. You know what I mean?
Okay.
So I start coming out, I'm filming the videos. I start learning how to edit too. And they got jobs, they got kids. I'm 16, 17. I could just sit down in the lab and edit videos all day. So I'm getting better. I'm a little old. So this is before Snapchat and Instagram. We were posting the videos on Twitter, on YouTube. And what I realized,
at least you ain't say MySpace.
No, ain't that old. Ain't that old.
Ain't that old. Don't put me on that one.
Yeah. Ain't on that one. So we were posting on Twitter, we were posting on YouTube. And people start commenting on the videos like, hey, this the dope video, or hey, who made that music video? And when I was like, okay, they're asking who made this music video, I'm thinking, I made it. I can monetize this. And as soon as I realized I can monetize this, it was a wrap. I did my first video for like $75, and the next one for $150, then the next one for $300. I was making my classmates my clients. I was making my brother and his friends my clients, and I was just going out there filming everything. So by the time I got to college, I had already made 20 to 40 music videos. By the time I even got to college, I was getting the reps in, the experience and knowledge.
So would you say that college is needed for, the young entrepreneurs who want to hop into filmmaking, photography? Is that type of school needed to be successful, or can you build through experience? Like, what's your thoughts on that?
Yeah. So what I like to tell people is that college is not necessarily necessary. Okay. Right? You can go to college and leverage it just like anything else. You can go get a 9-to-5 job and leverage that. You can go work with mom and daddy and leverage that, right? So you can use college as a point of leverage with professors that you meet, the classmates that you're going to work with. You can use it as leverage, but I don't think it's necessarily necessary. I'm going to quote Charlemagne the God real quick. I know he said a lot of crazy stuff, but he got a quote in one of his books that says, no amount of classroom instruction can ever match the experience you'll get from actually performing the job. So whether you go to school or not, whether you go to school or not. If you decide to do it, cool, go have your fun. But if you go to school, if you don't go to school, you got to put in your 10,000 hours. Shout out to Malcolm Gladwell. You got to put in the work, put in the experience or put in the work to get the experience, no matter what profession you do, in my opinion.
And what they say? I interviewed this dude. He was like, your business teacher probably ain't even have a business.
Yeah, that's what's wild, man. And I actually personally thought about going back to be an adjunct, even though I don't have like an advanced degree or anything like
Me
that.
too.
Because, bro, I've been in business 8 years. Like I've done everything wrong. I can tell you a thing or two because I've done it all wrong. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and I feel like you can learn what to do and what not to do from watching people, from experiencing. So from the experiences that we've done and gone through, we can go back and teach, and the people in the students that we're talking to, they'll be able to pick up that game on what to do from our experiences, and also the road bumps, the bumps in the road, they'll be able to kind of swerve around those and get to their destination faster. And that's why I wanted to kind of ask, for the young folks listening, if you had to build your media and film empire over again, knowing what you know now, how would you do it?
I would become a business owner sooner, as opposed to being self-employed. Right.
All right.
So
break that down for us.
Yeah. So self-employed is that you build a job for yourself. Your business don't run without you. My media company can somewhat run without me, but somewhat not really. Right. And that's something that I am actively working on as we speak, to be able to put a general manager in place, to be able to put salespeople in place, to have the editors, the filmmakers, things of that nature, to where it can run without me. Right. I'm a sports guy. I think you're a sports guy too. Right.
For sure.
Steve Kerr is there, and he probably makes maybe 1 to 2 important decisions a game. Right. But for the most part, if Steve Kerr left the arena, the Warriors could still go win games, because the system that they have in place, the players that they have on the team. Right. So if I was doing business,
coaches, all those different things,
all of those things. Right. So if I was doing it over, I would build out the people better, quicker, sooner, faster, the systems better, quicker, sooner, faster. That way I'm not self-employed. I'm a business owner, because right now I would consider myself to be self-employed.
Makes sense. Can you really break down, how important, first of all, can you break down what's the difference between, soft skills and hard skills? And why are they even important in business and hiring, just in general?
Yeah. So for me personally, I see hard skills as competencies that are acted out for a specific discipline. That probably didn't help you understand what a hard skill is. But for example,
we need English, brother. We need English.
I work cameras, right? So my hard skill is knowing how to turn the camera on, how to press record, how to keep the camera in focus, right? I edit videos. My hard skill is knowing how to change the audio, how to change the color, how to export the video, how to post it, right? I actually know how to do these things to make a video happen. That's my hard skill. My soft skill is, what is my attitude like when I'm talking to the client? Can I show up on time? Can all of these hard skills that I just did to make this video, can I do it in a timely fashion to get it in on time? That's a soft skill, right? So my core attributes in terms of doing what I need to do, the edits, the camera work, all of that stuff, I'm considering that my hard skill. All of the stuff around the service, punctuality, communication, time management, I'm going to consider those the soft skills, which I think both of those skills can be learned. I didn't say taught, right? They can both be learned. And I think when I say they can both be learned, it's because the accountability and culpability is on the learner. Because I believe we can go out there and teach anything. You can go teach me quantum physics. Don't mean I'm going to learn it. All right.
Yeah.
So I think the culpability is going to be on the learner. And then I'll say the last thing, even with the video hard skills, or even with the customer service soft skills, I didn't take a class on that. Right. I didn't take a class on customer service. I observed, and me as the learner, I learned it. Right. Yeah. I went to Chick-fil-A. I seen that they took my name. They say my pleasure. They smile. I'm like, that's dope. What they just did at McDonald's is not dope. So I'm going to treat my clients like I get treated at Chick-fil-A. Nobody taught me that, but I learned it. You know what I mean? So I think you can learn anything.
100%. I think everybody should definitely pay attention to that. whatever you're seeing, and even when I started, and that's a good example, even when I started my podcast, I went and listened to other people's podcasts.
There you go.
I said, okay, they're rambling about 3 or 4 topics. I don't like that. Okay, this one is segmented, and this one has like breaks, and this one is talking about certain topics, and you know, the guests are, you know, coming in and are not rambling for 4 or 5, 6 minutes. I like that. So let me do that for my podcast. So just for what you said, okay, boom, I see how they're treating me. I like that. See how McDonald's and Burger King treating me. Let's stay away from that and double down on that Chick-fil-A treatment. So that's another huge point, just for people to kind of listen and be like, okay, let me implement that into my game. Because when I'm, you know, speaking and when I'm on, you know, educational or things where I want people to learn and self-development or to develop themselves, gotta make sure that they're walking away with little tidbits and little, you know, points that they can actually use and implement into their game, bro.
Yeah. And
let me go ahead.
I would say, let me ask you this, because I would say nothing keeps me up at night because I'm gonna go to sleep. But what figuratively keeps me up at night is this quote I heard, and I asked it to anybody that comes on my podcast, but I would want to hear your thoughts on it. There's a quote that says, "You can take a mule to the water, but you can't make the mule drink." You know, and I, like I said, I just turned 30, and I feel like from, you know, 22 to about 28, because 22 is when I really start understanding like personal development, self-development, financial literacy, entrepreneurship, all that stuff. So from like 22 to 28, I'm out here as like a crusader, as a missionary, like, hey, everybody needs to get this information. Everybody needs to drink this water. And time after time, you know, I'm speaking to people, knowing people, I'm like, okay, they're not drinking this water. How can I make the mule drink the water? Right? So my question for you is, how can you make the mule drink the water? And then the second question is, can you make the mule drink the water?
I got you. I've always thought about this, and I even bring it back to the point of when I was in high school, my dad told me to save 50% of my income. Did I do it? No. But the reason why I believe that I didn't do it is he just told me. He didn't tell me, for one, he didn't tell me why I should be doing it. Two, he didn't tell me, and this is the most important thing that I've noticed from now with teaching, you have to tell them the pros and the big benefit, but you also have to tell them the cons and the consequence of not doing that positive action. Because what I found is that we react more off fear and losing and being in a negative position than we do of achieving greatness, of achieving financial freedom, of achieving a six-pack. So if I go and tell you, hey, if you don't work out, you could get diabetes, you could have a heart attack, then you're probably going to go work out. But if I tell you, hey, go work out so you can have a six-pack, you'll be, maybe I'll get a 4-pack. You know what I mean? Like,
not the 4-pack.
So that's where I believe things will make a difference, is telling people the pros, but also telling them the cons and what happens if you don't do that positive action.
No, I respect that. And it's interesting that you talked about fear. I do a financial literacy workshop through professional speaking, right? And literally the first section of the first presentation is fear, right? So for me, my finance journey started with the fear of not wanting to get my car towed away, right? I didn't want to get my car repossessed. That's how it started, was fear. So I thought that was dope that you mentioned fear.
For sure, bro. We got to tell them, like I said, the pros, the cons. And I think that's why we have like such a similar story. And I always say that, there's compounding effects in money, and there's also compounding effects in your efforts. So I believe whatever you do consistently over a long period of time will have, major results for you whenever you're progressing and going through that time period. So do you agree with that? Like, do you believe like there's compounding interest in money? Well, we know there is, but do you believe there's compounding interest in your efforts as well?
I do, bro, but I'm gonna be honest with you, it's hard, man. So and I don't think it's supposed to be easy. Alex Hormozy, I'm sure you may have heard of Alex Hormozy, big self-development guru guy, worth a couple $100 million. He talks about how he wakes up at the same time every morning, regardless if it's a weekday, weekend, holiday, doesn't matter. Bro, it's really hard to wake up at 4:30 a.m. on your birthday on a Sunday. Like, it's just hard to do it, right? But I'm like, it's the compounding effort effect, right? So I do believe that it is true and that it happens. But no matter how disciplined you are, in my opinion, I think it's still hard to be able to have the delayed gratification and to be able to be consistently, right? That's the hard part. I could be consistent for like 3 months, but to be consistently consistent for a year, over another year, that's where the differences lie. And I think that's where we got to have what I call half times. You got to talk to yourself and get back on the horse when you fall off. But I believe it's true, though.
Done it? Well, because you've been consistently consistent over these years, since your college years, since high school, you've been consistently consistent. So yes, it is hard, but what characteristic, what objective keeps you going? What is that?
Yeah. So obviously I talk about this in my presentation. I have a why, right? Again, coming from my origin story is the lack of financial options that we had growing up, right? We couldn't buy what we wanted. We couldn't do what we wanted because we didn't have it. Yeah. To your point earlier, we were so focused on surviving, we could never thrive. So obviously I want to be able to thrive. My definition of financial freedom is to be able to have the ability to pick whatever option you want without contemplation. Right. So that's what I strive for. However, Tom Bilyeu, he's the founder of Quest Nutrition and Impact Theory. He talks about like 93% of what fuels you can be good stuff. You want to buy your mama a house. You want to change the world. You want to be humanitarian. But you need like 70 or 7% of like screw the world. Right. Yeah. And I really think it's that 70%. And I may not be the most pleasant person when you tap into that 7%, but it's that Kobe, bro. It's that Jordan. It's that Tom Brady. It's that 7% where you got to be monomaniacal. You got to be borderline insane to be able to get what you want, because it's going to get tough. And no amount, unfortunately, I don't think any amount of me wanting to push or me wanting to change the community is going to help me get over them barriers sometimes. But enough of that. It ain't no other way but for me to do it. That's 7% of screw everything. That's what gets me over. So I rely on that 7% sometimes. I try to be pleasant, but you got to bring it out, bro. You do, man.
That's huge. You gotta have that backbone, back against the wall mentality sometimes to really give you that kick. So that when like boom, it's time to go. Even though I don't feel like doing this, I know, where's that big goal, that big vision that I'm chasing. Yeah. And if I want to get there, I'm going to have to, get on my horse. I'm going to have that black mamba mentality. Like, okay, that, like you said, that maniacal mentality where you got to lock in and just really get things done, no matter who's in your way, what's in your way. Like, for example, I had somebody help me start my podcast when I graduated in 2020. They helped us. They got everything ready for us. And by the 4th episode, they up and left us. Like, high and dry. Yeah. Sorry, we didn't expect y'all to be as consistent as y'all are. You're dropping episodes every Friday. We just can't keep up. Yeah. Sorry. So I either had a choice right there to and the person said, hey, what you can do is we'll do episodes once a month, or you can go on your own and continue how you ever want to do. So that was my choice right there. I was at a crossroads. I could either, go with what they said and do it once a month, or I could learn how to edit, or I could learn how to, produce my own podcast, get the guests, get the scheduling, do all those things, but do it on my own time. Yeah. So I had to make that choice, and that was the best choice for me because I knew I had that vision, I had that overarching theme, that overarching goal of where I wanted to be. So that's what happened with me, bro. Getting, like you said, getting that mama mentality. Whoever's in your way, we're going to Euro step to the right, Euro step to the left, and lay it up. Oh, there we go.
Yeah. No, I mean, bro, I have them, a couple times a day. Again, I say I wake up at 4:30 a.m. Bro, by 10 o'clock, I'm ready for a nap. Like, no cap. Yeah. Like, by 10:30, I'm ready for a nap. And you sitting there, I'm at the computer, I'm trying to write this newsletter up. And I'm like, bro, I put my head down. I'm like,
Yeah.
Nah, man. If Kobe was in the gym, he not finna go sit down and get water. He putting up some more free throws. Like, get back to it, man. So I literally have to do it to myself daily, man. And I don't know. I don't know if I'm crazy. I don't know if other people have to do it to themselves daily, but like I have to be like Kobe talking in my head to be like, okay, get up. Time to get to the next thing, man.
Bro, it was literally my little brother's team was getting beat like 21-0. And I was talking to her at halftime. And I said, what would Kobe do? I was in the track.
For real.
I said, what would Kobe do? I said, he would feel disrespect. He would feel like they spit in y'all face. They coming y'all home beating y'all 21-0. I'm like, y'all know Kobe Bryant, right? They're like, yeah, we know. So what we? I'm telling you, bro, we aligned, man. We aligned.
Only thing I'll add to that, I also believe in seeing other people put in that 7%. Deion Sanders call it that dog. Seeing other people putting that 7% is so motivating. I'm gonna give a shout out to Brandon Copeland. We talked about him before off air,
for sure.
But we were out filming for Brandon Copeland. This may have been 2020, 2021. He was still in the league at that time, and we were filming like a little mini doc about his life. And we get there at 6 a.m. He working out. Then we go to the mall. He buys kids something for the birthday. He come back. He got financial meetings, this, that. He does another workout, right? Then he goes and eat lunch, chill with the family, another meeting. We do a podcast episode. Then he does a workout in the pool. And then we come back, we have dinner. And it's like 9 o'clock. And he's like, man, I need to go get this last workout in. I'm like, bro, I ain't trying to go film you, though. I'm like so done. I'm like, we finna go for a fourth workout? It's 9:30 p.m., sir. He's like, yeah, bro, we got to get it in. He was contemplating. He's like, yeah, bro, we going to go get it in. Y'all want to go? I'm like, yeah, bro, let's do it, fam. It's so Micah motivating.
Said, I'm not trying to film you, bro.
It was raining outside, man. I got pictures of us with the umbrellas filming Brandon like running sprints in this muddy field in Florida, in Orlando, and we over there filming him with an umbrella. But just to see how aggressive he was with accomplishing what he wanted to accomplish made me so motivated. I came back to Texas like, yeah, man, I'm getting my 4 workouts in. Like it was good, man. Just to be exposed to that. Yeah.
Man, I love that, man. And I have one more question for you. You know, we can't have you on here and not ask you our famous final question. I'm going to say 2 quotes, and I need you to let me know which one is more accurate in your opinion, all right?
Yeah.
So the first one is, more money, more problems, like Biggie. And the second one is, money can't buy happiness. Which one do you agree with most?
More money, more problems, man. No hesitation at all, man. More money, more problems. I agree with that more. Money can't buy you happiness. However, I think you got to define what happiness is. I had a client one time that told me happiness is not something that we strive for. It's a byproduct of productivity, right? And productivity can be hanging out with your wife and kids. However, money will give you the option to be able to do that. And so if that financial freedom is going to give me more options to be productive in the way that I see fit, some people may want to go lay on the beach. I don't, right? But maybe I just want to go hoop this weekend, right? Yeah. But I have that option to go hoop this weekend without any remorse because I have the money that gives me that option. And I think that's what happiness is. So my more truer state, so I'm saying, yes, money can buy you productivity, which will give you happiness, right? So I think the more truer statement is more money, more problems, right? The IRS is probably the biggest one, but more money, more problems, because as you, in my opinion, as you get more money, right? I got people that are relying on me for their livelihood now as a business owner, right?
Yeah.
I'm over here doing all of the probate and the will and everything for my recently deceased grandmother, right? All of these things.
That,
I appreciate you, brother. All of these things that I'm now stewarding is because of the wealth or the money that I've accumulated, which is cool. Right. I like having all the power. I ain't complaining about it at all. But when you start to accumulate business, accumulate wealth, accumulate money, you will have more problems and you will have different problems. Because the people in poverty where I grew up, they got problems too. The problems are just different now that you got money.
Got you, man. More problems, just different problems. Not necessarily more problems, but you'll have different problems.
Yeah.
And hopefully with that money, you'll have the solution to those problems, because I believe money is just a tool that we use to solve our problems, that we use to create opportunities for us, as you mentioned, opportunities to be more productive, which that productivity then leads to happiness, then leads to freedom, then leads to being with your family or doing whatever literally makes you happy. So I think we have to strive to first go out there, understand our goal, understand where we're trying to go, and to understand that money is also a byproduct of us reaching our biggest goal and our biggest dream. So
100%,
for
man.
everyone listening, I just really want to, first of all, thank Micah for being on here, for all the gems that you dropped.
Appreciate you, boss.
This was great. Thank you so much for joining the show. And again, if you have any final words, any final takeaways, go ahead and let them know where they can reach you, bro.
Yeah. So you can find me at Secrets of Silent Success, or you just type my name in, Micah Autry, last name Autry, Autry. But yeah, YouTube, Instagram, Twitter, all that good stuff. But nah, man, I just want to thank you for having me on. I want to make sure that we all reach that level of financial excellence that we want to reach, because I believe that's what will literally change our lives. Everybody's fighting for equality, but I think we need a different E word, and it's called equity. Once you got equity, you can get your equality. But we'll say that for episode 2, I guess.
No, that's hard, bro. I love that. And for all my listeners, make sure that you're not only just learning, but you're actually implementing, because we've talked about a lot here today. But if you can take, a couple gems that you can implement into your life today and start working on those small habits, I promise there will be large results over time. So thank you again. And y'all already know what we need. We need y'all to stay safe, stay invested, and stay FYI fly. We'll see y'all next week.
Appreciate you, boss.
Thank you all for listening to FYI Fly, the podcast, and we hope you enjoyed the show. Tune in next week for more financial literacy insights with our special guests. Please visit our website, social media platforms, and subscribe to our YouTube channel at FYI Fly Podcast. That's FYI FLI Podcast. See y'all next week and stay fly.